I would like to believe, I do not know her side, but I would like to believe that the friendship is already beyond politics dahil sa mga nangyari. Hindi magandang nangyari at meron pa rin kaming open lines of communication. Dalawa lang yun, ma'am. It's either nagpaplastikan kami or it's really beyond friendship. I would like to believe that it's beyond politics already. So I would like to believe it's a friendship beyond politics already.
Vice President, there's a statement by the Senate President, Chis Escudero, that he said, as of February, you are now not a longer Vice President anymore. It's a contradictory statement. It's because the impeachment process is not even started. So how are you going to react with regards to his statement that you are no longer president as of February?
Okay. So I've not read his statement, so I do not know the entirety of what he said, and if he did said that, I do not know the context of why he said that, so I will not comment on it at this point, but if I read the statement, I will let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe one follow-up question. 3 years down the road, alliances. Medyo parang yung alliances nyo when you did allied with the Marcoses now is no longer there. Are you still willing to make alliances with other political figures or families?
Oh, actually, that is something that I discussed with Senator Robin Padilla, because right now he is the president of PDP Laban, and their chairman, former President Rodrigo Duterte, is inside the detention unit. So I was asking him what his plans are, because PRD is no longer there to campaign, and he said that he's planning. What I did was for my country, whether that statement is acceptable or not. But that is my statement. Everything I did for my country.
Yeah, BP, so ang haba ng pag-uusap ninyo, how is he? Is he taking his medicines properly? Meron bang special nurse na or doctors na tinitingin doon just to make sure that he gets all his medicines?
Yes, there is a doctor supervising his medical plan. Earlier this morning, I talked to the doctor, and then I was asking if she can explain to me what they are doing, but there's a doctor-patient confidentiality about that, so I just asked her, just take care of him, and she said that she's doing that, and her visits are frequent with President Duterte because of his age, and she understands that he has medical conditions that need to be monitored.
Pero yung mga medicines po niya sa Pilipinas, naiinom naman po niya dito?
Yung tanong ng doktor sa Pilipinas, kasi meron siyang mga doktor doon sa Pilipinas, may medisina, pinadala natin dito yon, binigay natin doon sa loob. Yun yung gusto makuha ng doktor sa Pilipinas. Pero nagsabi yung doktor dito, sabi niya, hindi niya maibigay yan. But rest assured, sabi niya, I am a professional, I am a medical doctor. My job is to take care of the patient.
Hindi po ba kayo worried doon, VP?
Well, of course, worried tayo, diba? But we just have to trust them that they are professionals, no? At alam nila kung anong ginagawa nila. At nandoon naman na lahat ng records, no, na-submit natin sa kanila kung ano yung mga ginawa ng mga lab tests, ano yung mga diagnosis ng mga doctors noon. So at least nakikita niya yung history, medical history ni Pangulong Duterte, and nakikita niya siguro ngayon kung ano yung mga nararamdaman, kung meron man, at makadecide siya kung anong mga gamot, kung kailangan man. But I understand from the lawyers. Unlike daw sa Pilipinas at sa Amerika na mahilig magbigay ng gamot ang doktor, dito daw sa Netherlands, hindi daw ganyan yung doktor. Yes, very ano sila, very conservative sila sa gamot. And I think siguro maganda din yon, no? Dahil nakita ko isang beses din yung doctor na kasama niya si Pangulong Duterte. Nung nag-request ako ng wheelchair, nagsabi yung nurse na ay hindi pwede kasi kailangan niya maglakad. And sabi ng doctor, you need to use your muscles. So ganun sila dito. Hindi tulad sa atin, no, na parang pag masakit ang ulo, diretso tayo inom ng paracetamol. So hindi ganyan dito. So we just have to trust their healthcare programs and then their professionalism.
VP, just a point of clarification. You were on the phone with your father. Aside from visiting him personally, how important is it that you still had to talk to him on the phone, apart from visiting him personally?
Oo. I have no schedule today to visit him in person. The schedule this afternoon will be for Hanilet and Veronica. I was here this morning to deliver documents that was asked of me from the detention unit, so I delivered it personally to the person who asked for it. And yes, so instead of in-person visit, I was allowed a phone call. So we discussed updates in that phone call.
How did the former president react upon hearing the loud shouts of support from the supporters here?
Yes, nagtanong siya, sabi niya, merong mga kababayan sa labas in English kasi we're only allowed to speak in English because all our conversations are recorded. So sabi niya, merong mga kababayan sa labas. Yun, sinabi niya, please extend them my thank you. We all hope for the best, and everything I did for my country, whether that statement is acceptable or not, but everything I did for my country, and I want that message out to the world.
VP, on another note, do you think Senator Aime's committee's investigation can still play a meaningful role or contribute to your pursuit of justice regarding your father's arrest, considering the palace's directive preventing cabinet secretaries from attending the legislative hearing under the claim of executive privilege?
I'm not hopeful for the case of President Duterte getting justice from the government and the administration right now. But I hope that it will not happen again to another Filipino. So that is the value of the committee hearings right now. Maybe they can come up with rules, guidelines, or laws that that thing that happened to President Duterte, like it's called extraordinary rendition in international law, doesn't happen to others. So it would be an example of what should not happen to a Filipino inside our country on Philippine soil.
Sinabi po ni Attorney Kaufman kanina that the core defense team has already been completed. So does this mean that your duty or your task here is finally done before you go back to the Philippines and continue your role as Vice President, even as you continue your role as Vice President while you're here in The Hague?
Yes, everything is organized with the lawyers. And there is already a system for the family with regard to the visiting here in the detention unit. So yes, and that the last document that was needed of me, I delivered it this morning to the person inside who asked for it. So yes, my task is done. It's
And that,
well organized.
Does that mean that you're ready to go home?
Yes. I'm excited to go home. I just booked the travel arrangements to go home.
Will you seek legal aid from the ICC?
I do not know what the discussions of because there's lawyer-client privilege. No? So I do not know the discussions of Nick and the former Attorney Kaufman and the former president with regard to professional fees.
Vice President, you say your father's message to the rest of the world is everything I did it for my country. How should the rest of the world interpret that? Is that an acknowledgement of responsibility, or can you help us understand what he means by that?
Unfortunately, I cannot speak beyond his words. So I guess he expected that there would be different interpretations because he said whether that statement is acceptable or not. That is my statement. So, but unfortunately, I cannot give you an interpretation, and I do not want to go beyond his words.
We were cut during our interview a while ago about alliances.
Yes, ma'am, sorry.
Yeah.
Alliances. So I discussed that with Senator Robin Padilla because he's the remaining, because there were two of them before, the chairman, former President Duterte, and the president of PDP, and that is Senator Robin Padilla. And I was asking him what will happen to your campaign, and then he said we will continue the campaign. And I was thinking of how I can help. I'm not part of PDP, but I was thinking how I can help them since President Duterte is already inside the detention unit, and I'm still thinking about it, ma'am. Maybe on my travel back home, I will have time to reflect on what to do next and how to help the country through the campaign and the elections.
Clarification lang VP dun sa pag-uwi niyo po sa Pilipinas, yung mga nabanggit niyo po to kanina in terms of gastos.
Opo.
Paano po ba yung gastos po dito? Sabi niyo kanina may mga nagbebenta na lang kayo ng gamit imbis na humingi ng donasyon. Can you please elaborate lang po yun?
Oo, may nagtanong kanina kung paano daw yung gastusin namin na magkakapatid dito dahil palitan kami sa pagpunta dito at pagbisita kay Pangulong Duterte. At nasabi ko kanina, sabi ko si Harilat naman merong mga negosyo, long established way, several decades na siguro yung negosyo niya. At ako naman may trabaho, may other income din ako. Yung mga kapatid ko may mga trabaho din, may mga sweldo. At I'm sure meron din silang other income. So ang arrangement namin ay KKB o kanya-kanyang bayad. Hindi namin napapag-usapan. Hindi rin kami naghihingian ng pera. Napag-usapan namin na hindi tumanggap ng donasyon at hindi humingi ng tulong. So kung kailangan man na mag-dispose ng mga kagamitan para masuportahan yung mga pangangailangan sa pera, ay yun ang gagawin namin. Because kung napapansin nyo, yan yung natutunan namin sa tatay namin. At yan din yung discussion namin kanina na huwag humingi ng tulong. But yun yung prinsipyo niya, pero hindi yun yung makakatulong sa kanya sa loob. Kasi sa loob, kailangan mo sabihin kung ano yung mga pangangailangan mo at ano yung nararamdaman mo, yung mga ganon. Sa doktor, like masakit ang ulo ko, hindi mo dapat tinatago, sinasabi mo, sasabihin mo sa guard, kailangan ko ng shaving cream, so ganon, mga ganon na mga bagay.
Marami po nag-offer ng help na sa inyo in terms of financial?
Well, wala naman. Well, gusto ko lang din malaman ng mga tao na hindi kami tumatanggap ng donasyon, hindi kami humihingi ng pera, at wala po kaming inauthorize na kahit sino man na tumanggap on behalf of the family. Klaro yun sa aming magkakapatid. Yes.
I suppose it was quite a long conversation on the phone.
Yes.
Can you give us a bit more of a flavour? You say that he has that message to deliver. Is there anything else that you can reveal from that conversation? And how did you find his spirits?
Well, he's in good spirits, yes, today, and he was referring to the visit of the lawyers this morning as well. There was a new lawyer introduced to him, She recently received her papers to be part of the team. And then, and then we discussed birthdays, because in the family, many family members have birthdays March, April, and May. So we discussed birthdays, whose birthday is it today, and whose birthday is it on April 14, and whose birthday is it on April 10 and May 31. And then he gave his birthday wishes to everyone. And then, well, he repeatedly said, and I told him, I understand where you are coming from, and I totally agree with the urgency. He wants to go back to the Philippines. Sabi niya, I am an old man, I can die anytime, but I want to die in my country. And I told him that we understand that you want it now and it is urgent. And he said yes. And I told him that the lawyers are working every day on your case, and there is a lawyer every day visiting you, explaining what they are doing.
How does he spend his days?
Well, he said that he went to, I think there's a common room inside. So he mentioned that he went to the common room. And then, of course, there's a TV in their unit, so he watches the television. And then I told him, I reminded him to add daily outside walking and prayers to his daily activities.
Is he getting used to Dutch food?
Maybe, likely, or maybe the commissary or the kitchen inside is doing something for him, because I understand every meal has rice already. But he's confused about the sun. So he said he's telling me it's 8 p.m. and there's still sunlight. There's the sunrise and the sunset. So yes.
And has he had contact with other detainees?
I would assume yes, because he said that he went to the common room. That's what he called it, the common room. So I would assume there are other detainees there in the common room.
Would he reconsider writing his own memoir?
That is something that I told him the first few days that I was visiting him, just write a book. And then he said that, and I told him Rizal wrote Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, and he said, he answered me, at what age did Rizal write his book? Because I am 80 years old, and do you think I have the patience to
write?
Yes.
Pipi, kamusta daw po yung laundry ni tatay?
Ginagawan po ng paraan. Meron po kaming hinihingi na request sa loob kung paano mapadali yung sistema ng paglinis ng kanyang mga damit. So sana ay maapuhan. Pero syempre, susunod pa rin kami kung ano yung desisyon ng detention unit. Sa ngayon, madami naman na siyang damit sa loob. So baka hindi pa naubos yung kanyang gamit sa loob.
VP, kaninang umaga, Philippine time, si impeachment prosecutor Marcelino Lebanon and first Rider Representative Rog Gutierrez, they led the filing in the Senate of this petition or issue writ of summons to direct you po to answer the articles of impeachment within a non-extendable period of 10 days. You're going back home. You said that you already have a team ready for it, but let me just ask your reaction on this new petition that has been filed to the Senate with regards to this non-extendable writ of summons to direct you to answer.
The best person to answer that right now is Senate President Chis Escudero, since the summons was filed in the Senate. I do not wish to comment on that matter.
With regards to the birthdays, you mentioned a lot of birthdays coming up. Does that necessarily mean that those who will be celebrating their birthdays will have a visitation schedule with the president so they can spend their birthdays with the former president?
Yes, April 10 we have been requesting for a special visit because it is the birthday of Veronica. April 14, no, that is the birthday of my mother. So she's going home with me. May 31 is my birthday, so I'm still thinking about whether coming here for my birthday. I've not decided on that matter yet.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, VP, about the relationship, you said that your relationship with your siblings and your father has never been better.
Yes.
How about the relationship of your mothers?
They don't have a relationship, ma'am. But I think former President Duterte is overjoyed with with what happened to the relationships between my brothers and I and our half sister. So especially when he saw us there last Tuesday. So that would be the first time that he saw Kitty and me together in person, because we do video calls before. But never in person that he saw me, Kitty, and I together. So,
Naisip sa kainahan, dahil saan na kami si mga anak?
ay, sobra yun kaayo kami nga sa mga bata. Kada adlaw mi naga-video call and kada adlaw ko nagasulti sa ako ang kami nga sa ako ang pagmahal sa ilaha o ang ako ang isa ka anak kay mo tubag pag maingnan ako I love you mo tubag na mag and doon ay nagsulti sa ako ang ingana gid daw ang mga teenager na lalaki. Pag ingnan nimo I love you mo ingon ra.
Maybe just to clarify again, not to presume anything, although di pa naman po kayo nag-file ng interim release for the former president. Pero what you are mentioning na gusto talaga ni former PRRD sa Philippines makabalik. Pero what if hindi siya payagan sa Philippines and other country? Are you considering it? Or meron ba kayo kinoconsider na ibang bansa?
Kailangan siguro na yung abogado ang mag-discuss noong interim release, no? So yan yung usapan namin ng lawyer. Siya lang ang pwede mag-discuss kung ano yung pwede sabihin sa public kasi meron silang lawyer-client confidentiality. So merong mga bagay na hindi pwede sabihin in public, kaya dapat ang lawyer lang din ang magsabi kung anong ginagawa nila as a part of his legal strategy.
VP, you've experienced the Dutch bureaucracy and the other good things about the Netherlands, or bad things about the Netherlands. Meron ka bang, are you going to get some takeaways and which probably might help you also craft policies when you come home?
Yes, ma'am. That question was asked last Tuesday, no, and I discussed one of my takeaways in the Netherlands is the mobility. So here in the Netherlands, you can choose. The person can choose how am I going to go around the Netherlands, or how am I going to go around The Hague. So I can walk, I can use a motorcycle, I can bicycle, I can use Uber, I can taxi, I can use the tram. Is that what you call it? No, the tram, and then there are the trains. So the person has a lot of options. Unfortunately, in the Philippines, we do not have that. In Davao City, when I was mayor, I know and I knew the importance of mass transportation. That's why we started the high priority bus system during the term of President Duterte. Sadly, this is not a project that the current administration is supporting, but that it is very important that a country has a very good mass transport system. So that is one of my takeaways in the Netherlands. And not seen anything bad, ma'am. I've been walking here, we only take a taxi when we are almost late. But otherwise, we just walk. So never, although I see the cigarette butts on the I see the cigarette butts on the sidewalk and everywhere else. It's something that you do not see in Japan.
PP,
So, yes.
just to follow up question, in lieu with the ABS-CBN 5 question, you said about the mass transportation. What about the graft and corruption? Is because as you could see, the delivery of social services in this country are given to the people. And which simply shows this graft and corruption is not really evident. So how are you going to, if that would be one of your take home, the mass transportation, what about the graft and corruption in our country, which
yes.
is really blatant?
Yes, sir.
As for now.
I've not accessed social services here in the Netherlands, so I don't know how it works. But speaking of graft and corruption, it is really what you would call poison for a country.
Yes.
And in the graft and corruption index, we are high up there. The Philippines is high up there. We need to do something about it. In fact, I talked about it when I resigned from the Department of Education. The budget that we have is not put into good use, and we lose so much money dyan sa mga cuts na tinatawag. And you see it when they craft the budget, because like say for example, by my personal experience, the budget of the Department of Education, the school building program, the new construction, everything is divided among members of the House of Representatives. And they are not even implementers of projects. That is the job of the executive department. That is the job of the Department of Education. So why are they interested in taking money from school building construction and allowing them to identify the projects? And somehow there is no system where the Department of Education, the DPWH, and the recipient local government unit can check if there was indeed a new construction of the school building, and if there was indeed a new construction, if the construction was up to the standard of the construction of a school building. So that is an example, and that is my personal experience, and I'm sure there are a lot of other incidents inside the departments in the government where there is graft and corruption. So it's poison to a country, and it needs to be cut. It needs to be taken out so that the money of our resources are put to good use.
BP, ano na lang, naiba tayo. Kasi mensahe na lang po, BP, sa mga supporters ni Tatay Digong. Kasi itong lugar na to, tinawag na nilang Duterte Park. So araw-araw pupunta sila dito para pagbigay ng moral support kay Tatay Digong. Mensahe na lang, BP, sa kanila.
Oh, well, yes. Usually napapangalan ang mga parks at mga kalsada pag simba ko lang, patay na ang tao. But I'm happy that even if President Duterte is still alive and well, he already has a park. And it is in The Hague, in the Netherlands. Yeah. So parang sikat na sikat ka, no? Pilipino ka pero meron ka ng some sort of pwede ba tawagin pseudo park, kasi hindi naman talaga totoo na Duterte Park, no? Dito sa the Netherlands. Pero sigurado ako, knowing my father, he would want na yung Duterte Park na yan ay nasa loob ng Pilipinas at hindi sa loob ng the Netherlands.
You've also experienced here a sort of equality, like even if you're a politician, you're a rich person, everyone is treated equal. How do you feel about it? You're walking, sa Pilipinas kasi if you're a politician, you have position, you cannot walk around. You should have bodyguards. Here, even Prime Minister is hiking.
Well, I do not know, ma'am, about the activities of their local politicians here. I've not reached out to any government official here in the Netherlands, so I do not know their activities. But I'm happy that they have that freedom. In the Philippines, I walk, yes. We have security, but mainly because it is their duty to protect the person. So I'm happy that they have that freedom. I hope we have that freedom as well in the Philippines. I'm not really more concerned about my security, but usually I use the security for the convenience of the public. Kasi pag lumalabas ako, minsan nagkakagulo. So, naiirita yung ibang tao. So, para lang hindi maabala yung ibang tao na ginagamit yung security. Pero I hope we have this freedom as well. Nasubukan ko siya dito, nakapaglakad ako. Sana man lang ay meron din tayong ganyan sa Pilipinas na hindi maabala yung ibang
we understand that you are the next of kin since the former president is no longer married. But will there be anyone who will be given the right to conjugal visit, which according to the law of the ICC would be given more time as compared to the other visits?
For my peace and security, I will not answer that question, ma'am. If you have the opportunity to ask that of the former president, you can ask him who he wants to have. Sorry, let's go na. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Bibi.
Yes, sir.
Sa Sunday ba?
Oo. For PDP, no?
Yung PDP.
Opo.
Mensahe lang sa mga supporters doon dito, no?
Opo.
KOJC o mga supporters ng PRRD para sa PDP.
Okay, sige. Maraming salamat sa Kingdom of Jesus Christ members at maraming salamat sa supporters ng PDP party sa suporta ninyo sa mga senators ng PDP. Unang-una na si Senator Bato de la Rosa, si Senator Bongo, si Senator Attorney J.V. Himlo, si Senator Attorney Raul Lambino, Senator Attorney Jimmy Bondoc at si Senator Philip Salvador. At huwag po natin kalimutan na meron pong mga guest candidates ang PDP. Ito po yun ay si Senator Attorney Vic Rodriguez, Senator Attorney Rodante Marcoleta, si Senator Dr. Richard Mata, and si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Senator Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Na napakalaki ang ating pagpapasalamat, no, dahil sa tulong ng SMNI at ng KOJC na mapaabot ang mga balita sa ating mga kababayan sa buong mundo.
Pahabol, ma'am, sa Belgium karungkuan. Sunday po.
Oo. Nasabi ko, no? London, no?
UK, nasabi.
Kanina, no?
Karon sa Belgium.
Okay. Maraming salamat sa ating mga kababayan sa Belgium, sa ating mga members ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ, sa mga supporters ng PDP Laban, sa inyong meeting de avance para sa mga senador ng PDP. Unang-una na si Senator Bongo, si Senator Bato de la Rosa, si Senator J.B. Himlo, si Senator Raul Lambino, si Senator Jimmy Bondoc, si Senator Philip Salvador. At meron po silang mga guest candidates napakahalaga dahil kailangan yung 10 ay maalala ninyo. Si Senator Vic Rodriguez, si Senator Rodante Marcoleta, si Senator Richard Mata, and of course si Senator Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Isipin po natin na marami silang magagawa para sa ating bayan. Unang-una na lang ay baguhin ang mukha ng governance and government sa ating bayan. Maraming salamat sa inyo dahil sinuportahan ninyo ang panawagan ng PDP na itong 10 ang iboto para sa Senado ngayong darating na halalan sa buwan ng Mayo.
Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, V.
Consider niyo po ba na isali po si Senator Aino sa guest candidates po? Senator State kasi kanina po nabanggit po na meron po kayong friendship and it's beyond political or politics.
Hindi kasi ako member ng PDP Laban, so hindi ko sila nakakausap with regard to their senator slate. Sumusunod lang ako sa mga pronouncements ni Pangulong Duterte at mga sinasabi niya with regard to guest candidates. So yun lang yung...
Would you welcome po if ever po na natanggapin mo or kunin po si Senator Aino as a guest candidate po ng PDP?
Well, I cannot really speak for PDP, no? Siguro, discuss natin yan kung meron ng agreement si Senator Amy Marcos at ang PDP Laban. So ngayon, wala pa akong update. Antay ako ng balita galing kay Senator Robin Padilla.
Saka pag-uwi po ninyo, makakakuha po ba kayo ng phone call kay President Duterte? Katulad po na nangyari sa
sinabihan ko siya kanina, sabi ko kung pwede ba siyang tumawag everyday, tapos sasabihin niya daw sa guard kung pwede tawagan ako. Yes. Sinabi ko sa kanya, my phone is open 24 hours a day. The detention unit knows my phone. It's isa lang ang number ko since 2004. So yan yung pwede niya tawagan. At sabi ko, it's 24 hours a day. Pero meron lang kasi silang allowed time para tumawag. Kaya sinabi ko sa kanya, please ask them that you want to call me every day. So ako na yung nagsabi sa kanya na you want to call me every day. Hindi ko lang alam kung gusto niya. But, well, yes. That phone call was probably the longest in my 46 years, no, with my father. That phone call was probably the longest. Ilan yun?
almost 30 minutes.
Half an hour.
Oo, almost an hour.
Niyakap po ninyo yung phone naman kanina.
Oo, niyakap po na. Kasi sumasandal na ako sa puno para ma-relax yung paa ko. And it's good to hug trees, no? You get their energy. Except that, well, buhay pa itong tree na to, so okay lang siya.